All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. I'm somewhat following this Ukraine thing here, and of course, I still see the gap between reality and what the mainstream news media is constantly trying to cram down our throats. I can't help but to wonder, with all the injustices that exactly is going on in this country right here. And since we like champion ourselves of sticking our nose in every other country's business and stuff and seeing how they're running their businesses in the world, I can't help but to think of what happened in this country right here if everybody converged on Washington, D.C. and clamored. And I mean, it literally screamed and hollered for the impeachment of Barack Hussein Obama and to see what would happen. Let's see if the democratic process would take place then. Let's see if he would voluntarily step down. Or will we meet the same thing that we often see that has been taking place down in Egypt? Would the people of America meet military force? Would they not meet armed resistance since you can't even carry guns anywhere around that area in the first place? We have to think about this because America, and of course, they only about ratings. The news media is just about ratings and ratings alone. So when they're presenting you to the so-called news, we report, you decide, they're reporting on things that's going to stimulate your emotional psyche. And of course, since America's been mind-numbed through religion and stuff and used to get their emotionals all up in the uproar and stuff, they have not even a clue what reality is because they never use independent thinking. It's just a foreign thing today. And I'm telling you, the manipulation and the control of the mind, we don't have to worry about George Orwell 1984 coming to pass because it's a soft form. It's happening direct opposite. It's happening, but it's happening direct opposite. They predicted chaos and all this other stuff, but it's happening it's desensitizing us through the food that they putting us poison in our minds to make us mind numb. They're doing everything to make sure they take the fight out of the American people by constantly keeping them entertained with sports. It's Rome. I keep telling you it's Rome and Rome and Rome again. Do I get disturbed? Yes, I get disturbed. I get disturbed because of the dismal ignorance that we all seem to be inundated with in this country. I myself, I get upset when I find something that has been sitting right in front of my eyes all this time and I can't see it. I guess that's the reason why I spend time, when I do get time, to do my due diligence, to research, to study, to pray, and try to get a good, clear understanding. Because I know that people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and I'm sick and tired of being destroyed. That's the reason why I burn the midnight oil. Because not only am I making moves for myself, but I'm making moves for everyone that listened to me, and I'm making moves for the generation that's coming behind me, providing if we're going to have one, because it's just not looking too good. But somebody has got to have in their conscience and their mind, like everybody else like to champion themselves, the children. Somebody has got to have the children in mind because the way we process thought today is demonic to the core. It's just literally off the chain. But I can't help but to see how America, who claims that they love for people to exercise their democracy, democracy, y'all know how I feel about that mess, don't you? Whenever we see the process take place here in America, all we see is the police macing women, brutalizing them and abusing women and children in the areas that there's gun-free zones, and we see them abusing Americans. So much for your freedom to protest. And they did a good job with stamping out, what's that, Occupy Wall Street movement, didn't they? Didn't they do a good job doing it? Bought out fire hoses, maces, and everything else. And you people need to understand that this government of today, the government of today, it is not of the people, for the people, nor is it by the people. This is a government just for us. That means everybody who ascribes to this office, political office, that you think that you are elected. You ain't elected nothing. They have already selected. Huh? You go to the ballot box and you select, but they do the electing. And you need to get that in your head. I don't know. I guess I'm critical in thinking. I used to approach this attitude or everything else that I'm doing. I have this kind of attitude, in almost everything that I do, especially on the religious front, since I'm a pastor, and come to find out that almost 99.9% of the things we ever been taught in our life has been nothing but a flat out lie. Maybe you want to be considered, if you use that Bible yourself, becoming an Israelite yourself. But anyway, I thought I'd report on that, because there's a lot of a mess that's going on over there. I mean, is the government of Ukraine legitimate? No, they gangsters just like all government. Government in itself is criminal in nature, and that's just all there is to it. But I tell you what, we have now to the point where the people fear the government. So therefore, this country's done. I keep telling you, now that you know that it's done, prepare yourself and make the proper and take the proper moves.